Hi everyone, this is Shane Paxton. Um, I I wanted to do this video. Let me just kind of tell you what happened. Last night I was just laying there trying to go to sleep, and I started thinking about something, and I just suddenly realized that how much we have forgotten about where we came from. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about in my niche. What I do is I build niche sites to earn a passive income. And as I was sitting there thinking about this, I realized that, man, we have completely forgotten what what made blogs so successful back when they first started. As I'm sitting there thinking about this, I was able to realize just how far off and out of line that we have become. Because now every day we're focused on all the new products that are coming out, new software, and things like that. And it really gets our attention taken away from what really was successful, how they were successful back when they started. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. So I'm just going to talk about weblogs, or what we call blogs today, and how they became so popular as a way of making a passive income. Now, I'm sure you remember um, them calling blogs weblogs. That's how blog came about, but they were called weblogs. So we ask, what are weblogs, or what were they? Weblogs started years ago. Okay, weblogs and websites are not the same thing. Okay, now we understand that WordPress has come so far that everybody is using WordPress to build websites. But back then, there was a big difference between a website and a blog. People built websites with HTML websites. People did their weblogs using WordPress or a CMS like that. Most everybody used WordPress. And so WordPress offered a great way for people to create what they called weblogs. So what are they? Well, weblogs was a way for an individual who is not necessarily looking to make a website. Weblogs were designed as kind of a online diary of sorts that a person um, could make. And so the idea would be for that person to be making entries into their weblog on a daily and weekly basis. So, and it gets updated, basically like a diary, or um, a person would create a weblog about something that's important to them, or something they would like to share with other people out there, a way to connect with other people. Um, it was a way for people to um, share their interest with each other, with others like-minded individuals. And that's basically what weblogs were for. And since people were making entries into their weblogs on a regular basis, and it was easy for them to make entries, for them to have content, because they were adding content that was important to them, that they knew about, that they were interested in, or something they wanted to share. So it was really easy for people to add in entries every day. And when I say entries, we call them posts, or WordPress is post. Okay, so it's very easy for them to add in entries every day. And what happened was they became very, very popular. The reason they became popular is because the weblogs were dynamic, meaning they were always changing, always having new content, whereas websites were static. Back then, the websites were static; they always stayed the same. The homepage stayed the same, and weblogs were dynamic, meaning they were always changing. And kind of what happened next was an unintended, uh, basically uh, consequence that was unintended. You see, so what happened was These became very popular with people, and they became popular with the search engine. So what happened was these weblogs that people were creating, they started ranking really well with Google. And the reason for that is because of the dynamic nature of them, and with the content changing, new content being added, and they started getting ranked in Google. Google loved that. The reason why they loved that is because it was those weblogs were very popular with other people who are searching for information about certain things. People want to read about um, other people. They want to read about people that have like the same types of things they do. They want to hear things um, from like-minded people that may help them. That's what people are interested in online. So they started ranking for keywords, and really people who were doing the weblogs, they weren't interested, or they weren't trying to get ranked or anything like that. They were not even, SEO and all that was not even a part of what they were doing. They were doing this for themselves to try to talk to other people, but they had no intention of trying to rank anything. So what happened was they were Google was ranking them for keywords. They were getting traffic, and we all know that when we get traffic, that's a good thing. And after a little while, people started to recognize this. People started to recognize that these weblogs people were doing, hey, these things are getting a lot of traffic. They're getting a lot of people looking at it, and the people that are coming to these weblogs are interested in what this person's talking about. Okay, so when people started catching on to that, seeing that, that's when the idea of monetization started coming along in the weblogs. So people started monetizing their weblogs, and now they're going to be called blogs. Okay, we don't call them weblogs anymore. By the time they started really monetizing their weblogs, they were referred to as blogs. Okay, so as these blogs were starting to get monetized, they were making money, and eventually it caught on, and a lot of people were making money. A lot of people were making their own blogs. And something I really want to go over is why were they so successful, and why were they able to make money? Because that's what we're trying to do today, right? So let's just talk about a couple of the reasons that the weblogs were so successful. Well, one thing we touched on there, they were dynamic. The content changed, okay? New content was being added. This content, these blogs were being created by real people, okay, with real content. And the search engines like Google loved it. So Google was sending these sites uh, traffic, people that were interested in what this person was talking about on their blog. And then they were able to monetize that, and that's how you make money with a blog. Now that's all great and good. But what I want to talk about next is why it was these people who are creating these blogs, why were they able to do it like they were able to, and be successful. And this is going to be the most important thing. This is what I realize that we have completely forgotten. And so when we start talking about why was it so easy for these people to make these weblogs, and you have to realize these people who were making these, they didn't have issues like we have today as far as worrying about where they're going to get content. How is there a software out there that can write an article for me? All that stuff they didn't even worry about. The reason why is because they were writing about things they were interested in. It was fun for them. It was something that they enjoyed doing. So it was very easy. They wrote about personal experiences that they wanted to share with others. Okay? They write about stuff that they know about. They don't have to do research on something because they know it. They live it, they experience, it's what they enjoy. Okay? Whether it has been writing about a hobby they like. So they didn't worry about content. And that's the reason why they did so well. But you see, what has happened today is when we go to start a new site, a new niche site, You know, one of the things that we're thinking about is go do keyword research, find content, find a niche, da 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 da. And we're totally missing the whole point. We have totally forgotten what made it successful in the past. I realize I have forgotten that. And last night when I'm laying there, I started to realize or started to think about all of the sites that I did back in the day that were so successful, and I'm thinking those were so easy for me to do, and they were so successful. And the reason why is because they were sites about things that I enjoyed. It was easy for me to write about them. I look forward to writing or adding new content on a daily basis. And I thought, oh my gosh, we have to get back to that. And you think about it, really, you don't have to do any more niche research. You don't have to do any find. You don't have to find topics to make sites about. You don't have to worry about that at all. Because if you think about all the things that you've had or experienced in your lifetime, things that you've learned how to do, um, maybe even some bad times that you've gone through, and you want to share how you are able to overcome those things, or you have a hobby that you are interested in and you want to share that with other people. If you look down in your life, you're going to have all the content, all the topics that you could ever want. They're all right there. You have them within you. So here's what I would like you to do today. I would like you to just sit down at your computer and think about something that you've experienced in your life. If you have something that you would like to share with others, if you have a hobby that you are interested in, go back in your life and find something that you know about, something that you've learned, and make a weblog about that. You want to find something that interests you, that you look forward to talking about every day and adding content. I'd like you to do that today. I'd like you to sit down and don't worry about keyword research or any of that, and just start. Not themes, don't worry about plugins right now, and just get on there and start writing things down that mean something to you. Do that, and we're going to start building on that. This is very important, guys. Please remember this. That's how they were successful. That's how they were making money. Talk about things that you know about. You will have a successful site. I hope this helps, and I hope that you can think about this and start putting this to use. Thanks, guys.